TJ. He met her at Tijuana's airport, and they drove to the K-Tower Boutique Hotel in the Zona Rio. The hotel was in a gentrified part of the city, about a mile and a half from Avenida Revolucion, a destination for Americans with a notorious reputation during Prohibition, when the U.S. was dry and TJ wet, and a daring excursion for San Diego high school students back in the day. Yes, Paul had partied there one evening, and as a youngster accompanied his parents once to the racetrack. Mark reserved a loft on a high floor with a city view decorated elegantly as a honeymoon suite, including marble bathroom with plush terrycloth robes and fresh flowers to please Lourdes, who stared straight ahead in a chair, alternating pouting and fuming. Why did he do this to me? What am I doing here? Sensing her agitation, Mark stepped in front of her, brought his hands to her cheeks, and bent to gently kiss her forehead. "I'm sorry," he apologized, "for everything you've been through." He kissed her forehead again, then each dimple. "I'm so glad you're here." He touched her tummy, "Both of you." Her icy glaze melted into a tear as he took her hand. Forgiveness. "Can we make a garden at our new home?" she asked. "Yes," he promised. "With chickens?" "Chickens and vegetables and all the jalapenos you want." "All this talk of food is making me hungry. How would you like to get something to eat?" They strolled in clear, warm weather and approached a restaurant with an outside patio filled to capacity and 3 serving stations inside. Tacos Pastor, the rich flavor Mark first tasted in Mexico City, also popular in the border region. The second station featured chicken and beef parts. The third, fish. Mexican comfort food appealed to both, but Mark suggested they keep heading up a tree-lined boulevard of Paseo de los Heroes to a place with white linens, modern decor, and bright colors. "Where are you taking me?" "To a place I know you'll love. Trust me." When she saw the restaurant's name, Sabor a Mi, she threw her arms around him. After a plentiful carb-loading meal, without wine or beer so he wouldn't be tired, they walked back to the hotel for a siesta. At the elevator, Mark noticed his brother-in-law at the reception desk, quickly ushered Lourdes inside, and pressed the button to shut the door. What's he doing here, he wondered, unaware of Joe's stem cell treatments. Should I say hello? Should I introduce him to her? Would he report her to ICE? He decided best to avoid him, for now. While she showered, Mark texted Miguel to confirm their appointment at 8 p.m., changing the location from the hotel lobby to a nearby bar, Miguel suggested. "You're stunningly beautiful," said Mark as she left the bathroom, wrapped in a soft white cotton, accenting her smooth bronze skin and damp black hair. "Hurry up and come to me," she urged as he entered the shower while she warmed the sheets. When he returned freshly shaven and clean, she was asleep, and not wanting to disturb her, lay down beside her, covered her waist with his arm, and rested his palm on their child. The 1-hour nap stretched into 3, abruptly interrupted by Miguel's telephone call. "Where the fuck are you?" Startled, they hurriedly rose. "Don't forget to charge your phone," Mark reminded Lourdes, who plugged her phone into the charger, and the charger into the socket on the wall, as they quickly dressed. They met Miguel outside, a crowded nightclub off Avenida de la Revolucion. "I see why you learned Spanish," said Miguel. "She's beautiful." "Oh, great," said Mark as they entered, when he saw 2 shiny silver poles rising from the stage and the waitresses over the top high heels. Before long, 2 scantily dressed women demonstrated their agility with the poles. Miguel winked at one of the senoritas and invited her to their table after the performance. Mark was curious what the smuggler would look like. Perhaps a drug lord or ranchero. Indeed, the coyote resembled a foreman managing a project on his brother-in-law's estate, similar to Miguel, but wearing an expensive white Stetson and no black eye patch. after shaking Paul's hand. The smuggler spoke rapidly. Mark couldn't understand, and Miguel excused himself for a few heated words with his associate, sauntered back, and told Mark, "He doesn't want to do business with you." "Why not?" "He says you're fucking DNA." "And Miguel," said Miguel, referring to the Drug Enforcement Agency. "Oh, God, look, you know me, you know him. Explain to him I'm not DEA." Miguel led the smuggler to the bar, bought him a fine tequila, and they talked, the pirate displaying bravado. 10 minutes later, he returned. "We are okay, but when we meet him in the bull ring, that's as far as you go." "And from there, he'll escort Lulu across?" "His guys will bring her." "What do you think?" "Everything looks good," said Miguel. "Like I told you, I've used this guy before. He's good. And one of my guys will be joining the group. I've asked him to look after your senorita. She'll be fine. I've never had any problems. You come with me, and we'll meet them on the other side 2 hours later." "Where?" "They'll call once they're across. We'll wait at the cantina I know in Chula Vista." Mark talked it over with Lourdes. She had come this far and was determined, and with the passion of youth, to leave her home country to be with her man. She would not turn back. Not now. Not ever. They decided to proceed as planned. Mark handed the coyote the deposit, and they agreed to meet at Armistead Park, across from the bull ring, at 11 p.m. Lourdes asked Miguel about his experience crossing the first time, and for advice. "The border wasn't militarized back then," said Miguel. "My father sent for me and arranged for me to meet the coyote not far from here, the same place we're bringing you. We removed our valuables and dressed in black from head to toe." "Why black?" Mark asked. "So we wouldn't be seen. We spent 2 days in the desert." "Wouldn't you be seen during the day?" Lourdes asked. "We stayed hidden under cover and rested during the day and walked at night. We could have been robbed and killed, but at least I wasn't going to get raped." Lourdes gasped. "Don't worry," Miguel assured her. "My guy will look after you. We'll meet you in 2 hours." Mark and Lourdes returned to their hotel to pass the hour, while Miguel escorted the pole-dancing senorita with the long hair upstairs to a private room for an intimate demonstration of her dexterity. Plaza Monumental de Tijuana is 50 paces from the border and boasts a 20,000-seat bull ring, also used for concerts and civic events. It's adjacent to Friendship Park that straddles the United States and Mexico. During Operation Gatekeeper in 1994, a 14-mile barrier, similar to the Berlin Wall if you think about it, was erected, dividing two cities with two different economies, two different governments. Gaps were left in the park's barrier, allowing divided families and loved ones to exchange words and touch fingers through the fence. Lourdes and Mark arrived, she with a black backsack containing bottled water, a cashmere sweater, and windbreaker in case the warm weather cooled. They said brief goodbyes, then Miguel's contact walked Lourdes to a 14-seat van with 11 migrants and 2 coyotes. Miguel and Mark were waved through the Otay Mesa port of entry, while the van containing Lourdes headed out of the city a few miles and stopped to meet the lookout to confirm the area was clear of Border Patrol agents. The lookout reported agents swarming around the other side, where there was supposed to be none. "No way we're crossing here tonight," said the van's driver. "How about the old route?" suggested his partner. "It's going to take much longer that way." "We'll make it up on the way back, you'll see." "What about the fucking Minutemen?" "I guarantee you we won't run into them," said the driver, who drove east beyond the city and kept going, almost an hour, beyond Tecate, past El Rancho, then turned north, continuing to where pavement turned to gravel, then where gravel turned to dirt. Their passengers didn't protest, despite their increasing anxiety.